Hello, this is Dave Sugarbaker. It's the 14th of May. Happy Mother's Day. And I have a reading first from Philippians here, and it goes like this. Let your gentleness be known to everyone. The Lord is near. Do not worry about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. I heard an interview recently with a former Google employee who had spent the good portion of his work life on artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence, or AI, is a branch of computer science that mimics human intelligence in machines. The computers can perform tasks that require things like reasoning or generalization or learning from past experience. There are different kinds of artificial intelligence I discovered when I looked it all up. Things such as reactive machines, that's some of the most basic stuff. If the operator or the person who's making input does this, then the machine does that. That's reactive machines. Then there's big data, where there's huge amounts of numbers and statistics to crunch. Then there's machine learning, and there's natural language processing. Some examples of artificial intelligence that we're already enjoying are GPS, navigation. I really love that one. Voice recognition, hand gestures, using hand gestures to control your phone. That's already happening. Face ID. If my phone doesn't see my face, it won't open properly unless you put in a code. Then the last one is search and recommendation algorithms. That's if I type in a question and I want to have my computer search, then AI helps to refine or expand or sometimes change the search and to give you better responses. AI will soon dictate things like what you watch next on television. It's going to be used for recruitment to filter job applications. It's going to be used by insurers to calculate premiums. It's going to be used to diagnose medical conditions. AI will soon be able to make a video of anyone saying anything that they want that person to say. So it really destroys one of the things that we've counted on, and that is if somebody takes a video, it's really of them, and that's really what they've said. It's no longer true with AI. This former computer scientist resigned from his position at Google and is warning us about the possible dangers of artificial intelligence. Now, I think it's really nothing new. It's the old Frankenstein fear that human beings will create a machine that they can't control and it will destroy them. That's the standard Frankenstein fear. Plays out again and again when new technology is being discussed or experienced. Quoting from the article about AI, the scientist says, "Make no mistake, we're on a speeding train right now, and the concern is that one day it will start building its own tracks." Now, I'm a great fan of science fiction. I've read the Dune series, I've read the Foundation series, I've read a whole bunch of science fiction. And that proves what a nerd I really am. But it may be time to pull out Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics and take them out of the realm of fiction and build them into all this scary artificial intelligence that human beings are building these days. The 3 laws say this. First law of robotics: an intelligent machine may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. That's the first law that Isaac Asimov put together. The second one is that an intelligent machine must obey the orders given to it by a human being, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And the third law of robotics was that an intelligent machine must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or the second laws. The computer scientist from Google says that in a few years, artificial intelligence will have been fully integrated into our modern life, and we won't know what's true and what's false, especially with that thing about being able to produce a video and have anybody's image on that video and have them say whatever you want them to say. We won't be able to tell what's healthy for human beings, and we won't be able to know what really is just the will of machines programmed to succeed at all costs. Now, that doesn't sound like something that's especially new. There's always been a really difficult thing to figure out what's true and what's right and what's good. We Americans currently have competing political realities that each argues that the other team is such a terrible threat to our way of life. Now, this is not just a matter of differing viewpoints. This isn't just you say potato and I say potato. Each side in the current culture war is calling for the other side to be eradicated. Now that's serious. Now, where to put value has always been a human challenge. And I don't think AI is going to make our moral discriminations any more difficult than they already are. It's always been hard to know what's true, what to give moral weight to. As Paul writes to the Philippians, what is true, what is honorable, what is just, what is pure, what is pleasing, what is commendable. Paul says, if there's any excellence there and if there's anything worthy of praise, focus on those things. Let what's true and honorable and just and pure of motive and commendable be the focus of our moral construction. It's a reality of human nature that what's wrong gets more attention than what's right. If we go on a 10-mile hike and have a rock in our shoe for the last half mile, what we remember is the last half mile with the irritant. We don't remember the other 9.5 miles so much. We remember the irritant. And our news services deliver stories that are like a rock in the shoe. Violence and bullying and injustice and intolerance and selfishness, all the things that are wrong, which seem to have more of an interest for us than what's right. How do we know what the right thing to do is? How do we sift truth from falsehood? How do we separate the sheep from the goats, so to speak? It's not an issue that has been with us just since AI happened on the scene. We've been worrying about how to do what's right and how to discern the right for at least 3,000 years. It's not something that AI has brought to us. There's a father and son team of journalists who just recently won a Pulitzer Prize for a series of articles that they did on authorities in Alabama who were conjuring up offenses that required the payment of fines and then going after poor people with no hope of a legal defense, encumbering those folks with fines payable to the city treasury. The articles led to 4 new state laws that would prohibit the practice of dreaming up these offenses that you could fine people for. What the father and son wrote led to reform of police practices and the rescinding and refunding of many fines in the area. There were several local poor people who thanked the journalists and said that they'd been given their life back. Wow. This is good. How do I know? Well, it seems to be powered by a search for what is true. It cuts through and exposes lies. It isn't self-aggrandizing. It seeks to lift up the poor. It seems to prize justice, especially for those who have no voice. Now, you know, the church is one of only a few organizations that exists to teach people to discern what is good, to sort through the haze of too much information and too many self-serving perspectives, to uncover that which springs from love, that which is good, just, honorable, pure of motive, and commendable. I fully expect that the Christian church will look different in 50 or 100 years than it looks now. And it may be a minority report, but I pray that it continues to survive and continues to help us to sift out what is good. Now, God bless. If you find any value in this, I'd appreciate it if you'd pass it along, share it, punch that particular button. And take care of yourself, and God bless.